Good morning for everybody. Today I'd like to give you some information concerning mineralogy of dried bricks, starting from Heraconpolis up to the Delta. During 40 years of work in Egypt, I collected some informations, and now these informations will be presented in form of slides. We will start from Heraconpolis. It was excavation conducted by Professor Elizabeth Walters from Penn State University, and I was invited for collaboration, for geological investigation, mineralogy, etc. And I did, together with technicians, analysis of pottery, stones, objects, etc. But we did examination of silts present in the site, and these silts are present in this form, damaged and dried. There is plenty of mud cracks, etc. There is crystallization of salts over this on the surface and in these small cracks. This is this white substance. There is halite and NaCl, but there are some other salts, gypsum, etc. But when we did thin section for mineralogical observation, for microscopic analysis, we observed that in the mass represented by small fine-grained quartz are present the relics of bricks, dried bricks present in form of nodules like these. And we did examination, mineralogical examination of these relics of bricks, and it contains mostly clay minerals, quartz, some feldspars, probably of origin connected with the Aswan granites, small fragments of various rocks, sedimentary silts and clays, and some pieces of limestones, magmatic rocks from East Desert, but there are some small pieces of granitic granites from Aswan, and organic compounds. On the diagram it looked like this, and it's interesting because this examination confirmed that at the area of flood of Nile between Nagada II and pre-dynastic time were constructed architectonic objects made using dried bricks. So this means that there was no floods of the Nile. Nile was very, very low, because nobody will construct architectonic objects using dried bricks and at the zone of floods. This is a document for very low and level of the Nile, so this means very dry climate between Nagada and the early dynastic phase. At Armand we did examination of proto-dynastic site. It was conducted under the hand of Professor Kozłowski and Ginter. It was done in 1986. It was a publication book after investigation. And I did geology. We have profile. There is Sahaba formation, these silts, and younger sediments, younger pediment, and various gravels, horizon, etc. and at some places are rare relics of dried bricks. These dried bricks are composed of Nile silts, of course. It looks like under microscopy. One example of bricks look like this, and mineral composition, as you see, mostly clay minerals, clay mass and quartz, etc. Not too much differentiated, but slightly other compositions than in Heraconpolis. Of course, the material is from valley of the Nile, and material was transported slightly farther from Nile, and this construction was made near the Amman. His book about these details are in the book. Malkata, known for all. The upper part of palace in Malkata is completely damaged. There are only small fragments of bricks, but deeper are present well-preserved bricks, like there. The pieces were taken for analysis, for microscopic analysis. Material look like this. It's, let's say, clay mass with organic substance, quartz grain, some flakes of muscovite and other, some traces of heavy minerals from East Desert, and mineral composition look like this. Clay minerals are dominating, near 70%, quartz near 30%, and the rest of material quite a lot of organic substance, various, and this composition and use of the dried bricks for construction of the palace documents that the floods of Nile were relatively small, because the water not migrated, Nile water not migrated up to the palace, but damage was made mostly from the top, was made by rains. This document profile of Malkata, and there is the diagram of mineral composition of one type of bricks from Malkata. Sheikh Abdul Kurna, this is excavation conducted by Dr. Tomasz Górecki from Warsaw. I was invited to help in geology. He worked mostly in the tomb. This is entrance to tomb 1152, and in front of this tomb was construction made of dried bricks, and samples were taken from this construction. It's about 1.5 and 2 kilometers from the Nile, so material was transported, of course, from the from the Nile Valley, relatively high to the Jebel, and this structure, these relics of architecture was preserved, is still preserved up to now. And under the microscopy, when we observe thin section, it looked like this. The wall is covered with the plaster, and there are various there is differentiation of bricks at various parts of this construction, but one example is presented there. This is microscopic picture of the bricks from this construction, and mineral composition is following. Clay minerals about 70%, quartz, etc. And on the diagram it looks like this. And Castor Saga, we did excavation in Castor Saga in 1980 up to 1985, and during this examination was discovered the wall made of dried bricks in Castle Sagat. This is wall surrounding settlement, investigated later by Professor Joachim Schliwa. This is picture, I think, 1978, 1979. And it's drawing, because the picture is old, black and white, and was done drawing, and this drawing better show the structure of the wall. Dried bricks were transported, of course, from Nile of the valley of the Nile, most probably using boats, because Lake Moeris, Fayumian Lake at this time, was large, and material was transported from the valley of the Nile by boats, and this construction were made, this wall was made from Nile up to Castle Saga is about 25-30 kilometers by water was transported, and construction was made. And when we did thin section for microscopic observation, one of types of bricks look like this. It's quite a lot of quartz and not too much clay mass, flakes of muscovite, and some heavy minerals. And full analyze, microscopic analyze, petrographic look like this. Clay mass is up to 66, quartz 30%, slightly more, 30 less. And rare feldspars, fragments of sedimentary rocks, mostly fragments of limestones and siltstones, and organic compounds, not too much, but there is secondary gypsum crystallizing in the structure of bricks. A diagram of these bricks look like this, mostly clay minerals, and oscillation of amount of the quartz. Of course, all from Nile Delta, Nile Valley, Benha. There were excavation conducted by Professor Michałowski, later by Karol Myśliwiec, and next by Professor Szymańska, Anna Szymańska. I was invited for to see the excavation and to make examination of small figurines called terracottas. We did examination in Krakow. By the way, were taken small samples of one type of bricks present in the site, and this is microscopic photo of this material. Is relatively very fine, mostly composed of clay minerals and rare quartz. And this is explanation why this material was very good for preparation for terracottas. Of course, for preparation of these small figurines, this material was specially prepared. Coarser grains were separated and was left, and was used only very fine clay mineral, clay mass for preparation of these figurines. And we have more than 80% of clays in these bricks and quartz, and rest is symbolic, not too much, but some amount of organic matter is observed. So there is diagram of this mineral composition of bricks, one of bricks from Benha, Tel el Farkha. And next, Tel el Farkha. This is excavation conducted by Professor Ciałowicz and Dr. Marek Chłodnicki. I was invited for geological works, and this is example of wall of mastaba discovered by Professor Ciałowicz in Tel el Farkha, and we see generations of the various material used for construction of the wall of mastaba. First is plaster of internal covering internal wall of, because this is the center of mastaba, this is surrounding wall, and this is plaster made of various material covering this first wall. The thickness is from between yellow arrows, maybe even this is going up to this place, but it looks like another material slightly. Next we have wall between small wall between green arrows. This is this, and next is next wall made of gray bricks, and this is small space, and next wall made of various bricks, light and dark, between dark black near black arrows. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations of wall made using various bricks, and our examinations show that these light bricks are sandy bricks containing quite a lot of quartz, and these dark are made using this wall is made using bricks prepared using silts of Nile present in Delta. So this is quite various material. But as you see, at some walls, at this wall, at this wall, are used both materials, light and dark, and at this wall is used only silts of Nile, dark silts of Nile. Under microscopy, these sandy bricks look like this. There are quite big grains of sand and clay from silt of Nile. And next is dark gray brick made using only silt of Nile without admixture of this sand. This sand is probably from Gezira, and this is not mixed with sand of Gezira. And as you see, in mineral composition is quite big difference in content of clay mass and quartz. In sandy brick, it's much more quartz, slightly less silt of Nile, and in this gray is much more clay minerals and not too much, up to 20% of quartz. This example of one of walls discovered in the profiles of central comb in Farkha, and this after examination of geology, this picture of wall look like this. There is relic of the wall and surrounding sediments. It's difficult for determination on this photo, but generally some walls, some architectonic objects are difficult for determination. But there is an example of the reconstruction of history of this wall. Of course, it was much more higher, and well done, etc. This is A. Next, we observe first stages of the destruction, from destruction of the top of the wall, as well at the base of the wall. There is trace of water activity, flowing water wash out part of the base of the wall. Next is continuation of destruction of the top of the wall, and around these walls start to be deposited secondary sediments. Part is from destruction of the wall, part is transported from surrounding area. Next stage are growing surrounding sediments, and these walls start to be covered with secondary sediments. Next stage, stage E, completely covered wall by secondary sediments, and now it's present sedimentation, present picture of sedimentation. So, making this small reconstruction, we may say something about various phenomena present in the site after construction of this wall. In conclusion, one can say that generally we think that the dried bricks are very similar each to other, but after mineralogical investigation we may say that there are sometimes quite big differences in mineral composition of these dried bricks. And it's well seen that at various times of functioning of one site were used material from various places, from various silts of Nile. So this sometimes is helpful for the comparison of architectonic objects from various places. At one place and at second place at the same time were used the same bricks, so this suggests that these objects are from the same phase of functioning of the site. Sometimes it's very difficult to say about this. At some sites, similar bricks, similar material, mineralogical material, were used long time. But this small lecture show you the very useful that mineralogical analysis of dried bricks are very useful. You may obtain a lot of details. Of course, it have to be done by mineralogists, not exactly by archaeologists, because it's quite complicated. So this is all at the moment about dried bricks in Egypt. Thank you for listening, and welcome for next lecture. See you.